Happy Wednesday. It's Cindy again coming to you with a few words to think about this week. This is my third attempt at doing this, so I'm having one of those days. You know how they go. But I wanted to get us started with a question to ponder because this is what I asked myself yesterday. What is your best direction? That gave me a chance to focus on what is the next thing I need to do to accomplish the direction that I want to go, not necessarily a full blown out plan with all the details. For me, that is helpful whether I'm doing something in my writing or whether I'm doing something that has to be done for my job or just around the house. Instead of trying to get the big picture answer, I just go to the next detail. And that is really, really helpful. So it might be something that I've always done a certain way. And if I just take a small shift and I try one new thing in there, that can often be like a breath of fresh air and give me a fresh perspective on what I'm trying to work with. For example, if I have a task to do that I've really been avoiding that is just piling up and I just keep walking by it because I just don't want to deal. I find if I go ahead and maybe incorporate something different to make that task go faster. Perhaps I play some really good music that I like and I can sing and dance while I'm doing the task. And that gives me a little bit of fresh air. Some of the things that I normally do inside the house at this time of the year, I might take them outside to do. I do a lot of my best thinking when I'm outside. Today is a dreary day, cloudy, but it's still beautiful spring here. But I'm inside today and I'm looking at the beauty of the outside. When I have a lot of stressful things going on, which seems to be piling up for the past couple of weeks, I tend to need to do something to help me to move forward. And it may be the most mundane thing that I've been, oh, I haven't gotten to that. Let me do that because that makes me feel like I have some kind of control. And again, it's that illusion of control. But when looking at my writing, what I've been working on this week is doing an outline of a novel that I've written so that I can keep track of what happened and do I have things in right sequence order or have I done something that's totally out of turn and mentioned something that anyway. As a writer, you have to also be a reader. So when I'm working on a piece like this, I have to get my writer to move out the way and my reader to move in. So I want to read the piece like I am the person who is the first person reading this piece. So I don't get to edit, I don't get to revise, I just keep on reading. This helps me to see if my sequences are good, if I have changed somebody's name halfway through the story, or if I throw in a new character, then I don't tell you anything about. All of that comes up for me. But to shift into that mindset of my best direction to be the reader for now, I have a few tips that I use. If I see something really blatant that my reader brain cannot go past, I will just highlight that text and make it red. So when I do get to my revision process, I go back and I see, oh, there's a red flag. So this is something that I need to look at again. If I'm really needing to give myself a tip, I'll put a little extra few words beside it to tell me why I red flagged it. But that is a mindset that is difficult for me as a writer to also be me as a reader of my own work. But it's really pretty amazing because I'll read something and I'll say, oh boy, that was bad. Or I'll read something and I'll say, wow, that was pretty good. I wrote that. And it's sometimes pretty equal, and hopefully it's more of the bad that I find in there. It's just I need to switch the sentence around. Made sense to me, but it's not going to make sense to my reader. So that is a kind of fun thing to do too, to try to look at what I already do in a new way is one way that I can find my best direction that I need to go in. And I challenge you to try that too, whether it's your writing or some mundane task that you've always done. Can you add just one little shift? Maybe change the order that you normally work in. Start with your worst least favorite thing to do first, and then leave yourself with the most thing that you enjoy the most to complete the task. And that'll help you find your best direction. I want to leave you with a couple of quotes, and one of them is from Julia Cameron. She is an amazing writer, and a friend gave me one of her devotionals that has something every day to encourage you as a writer. And this was in today's. And this is quoting her: leap, and the net will appear. Now, I get what she's saying, but that just kind of makes me gasp. Like, what? I need to know net's there before I'm going to leap. But there are times when I've stepped out and I've done something that I was really afraid to do, but I got to myself before I got too fearful. And I said, just do it. Just do it. Whatever happens, happens. It's okay if you fall. It's okay if the net is not sturdy yet. Try it. Because I would rather, and maybe it's because I am 65 years old now, but I'd rather try something than not. So I'm going to encourage you. Try Julia's philosophy: leap, and the net will appear. And then this is from me. This is my quote: answers can produce new unknowns. Sometimes I'm just longing for the answer. What do I need to do? How can I solve this? But once I solve it, then there's a new unknown there that I have to. But it's okay as long as I can remember to take that one step. And that is my new direction, my new best direction. Just one step into it. And I might have to stop, and I might have to regroup, because that is what is needed. There's going to be another new unknown that I'll have to traverse through. And that is a way for us to keep our focus on this Wednesday. I would encourage you to get outside and see the beautiful world, and to be grateful, and to just let the Lord know that you are there and you are blessed to be His child. See you next time.